James the Lesser, we don't know how to do any polls with anything yet. Like, I'm looking to do polls with Nightbot and stuff, and I think it would still work here on YouTube like we were trying to get it to work on Twitch.
Here we go.
Hello, and welcome to James the Lesser Express Lane, where we get you in and out as fast as possible with DSP rants and raves at the FGC for not respecting him. And other things, obviously, because it's DSP, it's what he does. But, here we go.
Here we go, everyone. FGC responds to DSP. Content creators are ruining the enjoyment. Here we go. I pressed the wrong spacebar because I'm a moron.
All right,
Yes, you are.
Last but not least, since I'm pissed off that content creators is ruining the mystery behind fighting games in the meta. Buttons that need to be checked. That was a weird-ass title, but it's going to make sense, kind of. It might not, because it involves DSP. That's right. I want to thank Jersey or Joe Oaks 90 for tagging me in this story. Says, don't want to give DSP too much spotlight, but wanted to get your input on this.
Hold on, because my stupid thing is to me off. There we go.
Delay.
Okay. So let's continue. So, listen to this. Don't want to give DSP too much of a spotlight, but wanted to get your input on this. I'm sure Dirty Low does. I don't know who Dirty Low is.
I'm sure Dirty Low. I wish I could include him in this one right now, but he is. I don't think he's here by the time I'm recording this. But we have a video. It's a small clip. He might make an interesting point. I haven't seen the whole thing. I haven't. All right. So we're gonna watch it. We're gonna get some opinions. Let's see.
Now, on day freaking 1 of anything new being in a fighting game, you've got hundreds of fucking try-hard creators who are running the gauntlet of testing, who are sitting there in the lab, who are recording and uploading and montaging. And here's how you beat. By the way, you can tell that he's watching a detractor because you see how terrible the quality is. You notice that my voice sounds terrible. You notice that the visuals are terrible. It's because he's watching a detractor reclip. And
It's raw fill. You can see at the bottom, you can see the timer. Just like on this video, you can see the timer.
instead of the actual content. Just so you know, button check, if you actually watch the real content, it's much better quality. These idiots clip
It's still you, DSP, so it's not better quality.
and try to upload, and it sounds and looks like shit. You know, that's why it looks so bad. This, here's how you stop that. Here's how you do this. Here's how you beat that. And within like 2-3 days of anything new being in the game, you've already got how to beat the new character. But the character just came out. Like, can we play with the character before you basically tell the entire world
Can I beat up the scrubs who don't know how to play them before you tell them how to beat me?
how to make them worthless in the game? Really? Can we, like, play the fucking game and have fun with it? That whole entire era of that time of discovery feels fresh, feels exciting and new when a new character or a new game comes out, and now you can explore for yourself. That has been absolutely destroyed by the internet. Because now, on day 1 on YouTube, day 1 on Twitch, here it is. Here's everything you need to know. Put absolutely no time or effort into playing or learning for yourself. Just copy what we're sharing with you. Oh, by the way,
Mind you, DSP says he watches videos of others playing the game, so...
hey, like the video, buy my merch, and send me super chats and fucking memberships because I just fucking spoiled the entire game for you. And to make matters even worse, back in the day, even when tech was shared with the internet, okay, the entry level skill check was that the games actually had execution required, all right? Even if you knew the top tier stuff to do in any fighting game, you would have to sit there and practice endlessly in order to get good. And since the games weren't at home, you had to pay to go to the arcade, you had to wait in line, so you basically had to put in the time, effort, and money to get good at fighting games. Today, every single fighting game is baby mode.
And yet, you still suck at them. You still struggle. You still gotta wait for, alright, hey, I finally get to beat up on a platinum player that's not diamond like me. Me.
Meaning, you don't need good execution. You don't need to sit there and practice too much. You could literally sit there for an hour with any character and probably learn all of their top tier combos because none of them are hard to execute at all. You just need to know situationally what to do and then just practice a little bit so you get the muscle memory and you're good to go. Why do you think it is that when you actually play fighting games now and you're playing the meta, I mean, oh, I'm playing against a Cammy. Every fucking Cammy plays exactly the same. because they all watch the same videos, they all practice the same tech, they all know the same meta, and they all play at exactly the same level. So if you know that throw loops are dominant in Street Fighter 6, guess what? Every camera you fight will be doing the same throw loop, and you'll be doing the same guessing game, the same gambling chance that you break out of the throw loop or not. And what happens is the game becomes incredibly repetitive and boring. It's just the same thing.
Mind you, he always cries when he fights with Cammy because the Cammy always beats him. It is very, very rare for a Cammy to lose to him.
Every single time you play it, because everyone's copied each other. It was never like that back in the day. I want to emphasize with all of you, it was incredibly fun the entire first few months to year of any new fighting game being out because it felt fresh and new. Everywhere you go, you'd play something different you'd never seen before. It would just be so much fun. In this case, the games are destroyed within weeks. You know, why was playing with Mai Shiranui?
I can't spam the same move over and over again for weeks now. I can only do it for maybe 2 or 3 streams, and then people don't learn how to beat it.
So fun yesterday because everyone was experimenting. No one really knew what they were doing, right? And by playing that first day, it felt fun and fresh and interesting. You could try mix-ups. You could try setups. It was great. Within 1 week, everyone will already know everything that Mai Shiranui can do because all these idiots are going to fucking post it all over the internet and explain in heavy detail, here's how I analyzed it all, and here's exposing everything to the world. But again, because there's no actual execution required to play these games anymore, you're making it so any fucking mouth-drooling idiot can now play the game at a meta level because you're exposing the meta for profits.
So there we go. There we go.
So I will say this, before we even start, he listened to almost the entire argument I had, even though it was out of context from a detractor. He actually listened to the whole thing. He didn't just listen to...
The context is, you're a bitch.
...one little out-of-context part that, of course, makes me look bad. He actually listened to the whole thing. He gets massive credit for that because most people don't bother to do that. Most people will just listen to the 1 10-second highlight from a detractor and be like, well, that's what Phil said, and he's a moron, right? Instead of, wait, he actually listened to the whole clip, and it actually made sense because he listened to it. Cool. So already I give this guy points for actually being patient and doing the right thing because he wanted to make a good video. That's what you do when you're a good creator. Okay, now let's see what he actually has to say in response, okay? Here we go.
Because you're exposing the meta for profits. How y'all feeling about that? For one, let me say, as a content creator going on 8 years, there's no profits. There is no fucking profits. Trust me, there is no profits. You can make, let's say you make a game for meta, somebody that's well known, I don't know, let's say a Brian F or something like that. If just that one video, because they're not going to make a whole series. Rooflemonger's good at doing that, right? He'll like do a breakdown and whatnot. Who else? I'm sorry, there's a whole bunch. They don't really come to mind. But the chances of you like really, oh, this is going to pay my rent this month on this one series, not so much. That's not how that shit works. YouTube is a fucking beast, right? And the FGC is very small in the scheme of things. These fucking profits people talk about every now and then, they're imaginary. No, I'm not saying you can't make some, because definitely there's big names in the community overall. Overall, with the years they put into it, there's Twitch, if I could talk, their Twitch streams, their contracts, if they're signed, they're sponsored, numerous sponsors, then okay, they're pulling in something, right? But not just off this one concept that I'm making a combo video. But I will.
Okay. Oh, wait. Well, is he done with the thought? Hold on.
I'll say, like, to play devil's advocate, right? I do think there is a way, because I've seen it every now and then. People will say, oh, if you do it a certain way, you will spoil it.
Oh, okay, he's on to the next part. So I'm just going to say this very simply, very matter-of-factly. I'm not saying this to insult this man. I'm not saying this to insult any particular creator.
Uh-huh. But you're going to insult someone.
If you are exposing the meta of a competitive thing, whether it's a sport, whether it's a game, whatever it is, if it's something competitive and you're exposing the meta of that to the world, you should do it for a reason. And the reason should obviously be a good one. And if you're telling me that it's not for profit, then what the fuck are you doing it for?
If you're not doing it for money, why are you doing it? I don't know, DSP, maybe the love of the game? Maybe they just really enjoy Street Fighter? Holy fuck. If you're not doing it for money, why are you doing it? If you're not playing a video game for money, why are you playing it? DSP, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with you? I know there's a lot of things.
Because you understand that when you expose the meta of something competitive to the world, you have actually destroyed the competitive nature of what it is.
Guys, I was watching ESPN before the Super Bowl, and one of the guys on ESPN was going over how the offensive line for the Chiefs doesn't do really good against four-man rushes. They can't handle the edge rushing, guys. They've ruined the meta of football.
For example, I want you to just think about this for a second, okay? Michael Jordan, when he was at the height of his game, playing...
You really think they weren't analyzing Michael Jordan on ESPN? You don't think after every single game, Chicago's every single news station is like, all right, yeah, no, 17 dead in a car accident, apartment building caught on fire, dozens dead. Anyways, past all that, Michael Jordan put up 47 points, 19 assists, 22 steals. What an amazing night! And then going over the video for the rest of the newscast. Like 5 minutes news, the other 25 minutes, Michael Jordan. You really think every single news station in Chicago wasn't doing that for years? The guys, they're ruining the meta. They're showing what Michael Jordan can do. How's Michael Jordan supposed to be dominant if they expose him, guys? Holy fuck, DSP. I'm sorry, but that whole, if you're not doing it for money, why are you doing something? Is just mind fucking blowing.
pro basketball. Did Michael Jordan go on TV and be like, oh, by the way, here's all the tips and tricks that I use to play my game at top level right now and win the NBA championship? I'm just going to lay them all out for you right now. Here they are. No.
DSP, if Daigo makes a video breaking down the newest character from Street Fighter 6, that's not the same as Michael Jordan going over his abilities and skills and stats and all that. If a game developer from Capcom went, hey, I am the #1 designer for this character. Anytime this character does a move, it's because I designed to do it. And then they went over it. That'd be a bit more accurate. God damn, I want to punch him right in the face. You know what? He's annoying me enough. You get the point. If you're not doing it for money, why are you doing something? Fucking mind-blowing. And how dare they make it so I can't just spam the same 3 moves for a month? I can only do it from 2, maybe 3 streams before people figure it out and stop me from spamming. Help! You're a bitch. Shut the fuck up. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have one hell of a day.